Welcome to the New Ulm Forum. I'm Ruth Ann Webster. I'm with the League of Women Voters. And we're very happy to have you here today. We're more happy to have our guests here today. Our topic is 100 Women Who Care, New Ulm area. It's a new event. It's a new event that's come to New Ulm. And I know I'm excited about it. And I think after you hear about it, you'll be excited about it too. My guests today are Michelle Marcraft, who is the organizer of 100 Women Who Care event, and Dana O'Brien, who works for Enterprise North and was the recipient of the event. Mm-hmm. So, Michelle, I'm going to turn it over to you. Give us a little, in the nutshell, what 100 Women Who Care event is.
Definitely. 100 Women Who Care is an event to bring together 100 women. And the premise is that each woman gives $100 to one charity that is nominated at the meeting. And we have one meeting, $100, 100 women, $10,000 for local nonprofits.
Okay. Now, we've talked about this. Mm-hmm. And this is, you didn't dream this up yourself.
I did not. There are quite a few around.
Okay, well, why don't you tell us how you became acquainted with this concept of 100 Women Who Care?
When I lived in Sioux Falls, we had a chapter there at Sioux Falls that did the same thing. And I was the executive director for a nonprofit that received the money one year and thought it was a great idea. Mm-hmm. When we moved to New Ulm, I thought this is a great community where we could do that as well.
Okay, and let's get a little bit more specific. You've had one event so far.
Yes.
You've had your first event, and you're planning to have more, right?
Yep. We will have 2 events a year. The next one is scheduled for April 3rd.
Okay, great. Why don't you tell us how that first event was sort of organized and planned, and who helped with it, and what the experience was like just getting ready for it.
Well, we had a core group of 4 women who met together and prepared for that event. Super easy to plan because we didn't have to do a lot of work. The nonprofits that come and talk about their nonprofits do most of the work, and we just get everybody organized. So most of the work that we did was the marketing and getting people involved and getting people there to the event, which was really great.
Okay, and talk about, do you want to name the other women that are working with you?
Sure. Melanie Moore was the first one on board and was helpful to me. And we also, I knew you were going to do this to me, and now I'm not going to remember.
Oh, that's okay. We'll get back to that.
Perfect.
Get back to that. No problem. I know you've got help, and I should have written those down. That's okay. Tell me how that first event went. Where was it? How did you get people to come to the event?
Yeah, first event was at Turner Hall, and it was a great mix of people, both who had heard about it before and some who were brought along with a friend. And we ended up with about 85 women who are part of our group, and we were able to give $8,500 this first time, which I was really happy with. Next time we're going to for sure hit that 10,000 mark, but 8,500 was good for the first one.
Okay. I'm going to shift with that $8,500, and we'll get back to, I want to know sort of how it went, but I want to talk about that $8,500, which went to Enterprise North.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Dana, why don't you tell our audience about Enterprise North for people who don't know what Enterprise North does?
Sure. For people who don't know about Enterprise North or haven't heard of us before, we are a nonprofit day support service program. We have sites in Medelia and New Ulm, and our program provides vocational and social development support for adults with disabilities. They are physical or developmental disabilities and conditions related to that as well. And we offer both in-house and community-based employment opportunities that include things like light assembly, packaging, light clerical, document shredding, and cleaning services.
Great. And you were the recipient, your organization, Enterprise North, was the recipient of this event. Did you know about this in advance?
We did not, and we were totally surprised and very honored, honestly, to say that we were the first that was chosen. I believe that it was a former employee, actually, who she put the bug in her mother's ear, I think, is the way it ended up happening. And so when we were chosen, it was just really amazing to find that
Wonderful.
out.
Well, and back to you, Michelle. How are people nominated? How does that process work?
When people come forward, they get to put a nomination in a hat. And so we end up with 100 or however many people there, nominations. It actually turned out to be about 11 or 12 different nonprofits because a lot of people were putting in the same name. And then at the event, we take the hat to the front and we pick out 3. And those 3 are the ones that are then chosen to talk for 5 minutes each. And then they get 5 minutes of questions. And at the end of all those 3 talking about their nonprofit, then we vote and decide on one to receive the money for that evening.
Well, that was exciting. Had you heard about Enterprise North?
I knew Dana for a little bit, so I knew a little bit about it, but not everything that they do.
Okay. Well, and it sounded like people were giving a pitch for the nonprofit that they were, I guess, nominating or urging people to support. Was it interesting to hear about the 3 that were chosen?
Definitely, and all 3 whose names were picked, they all said, we didn't think that this would happen, so we weren't prepared. And so it was great, and it was a good opportunity for people to really speak from the heart, and you knew that they weren't just saying something because they had memorized it, but they were really speaking from the heart, which was neat.
Okay. Well, tell me a little bit. I know you're planning another one, and you said you were at Turner Hall.
Yes.
Right. Is the next one also going to be at Turner Hall?
Yes, we will have that one again at Turner Hall.
And we'll say this about 17 times to make sure that the date is Sunday,
April 3rd.
April 3rd at 6 o'clock.
Correct.
At 6 o'clock, and you'll be marketing it as well.
Yes.
What type? How did you get the information out besides word of mouth and just friends?
We did some letters to the editor. We had posters up all around town, and then lots of Facebook and Facebook ads.
Okay, good. You also had some donations for getting the gathering together, right? We mentioned Turner. Right.
Definitely, they were wonderful and let us have that room for free.
Okay, and then I think you told me that you had a sponsor in Thrivent.
Yes, Thrivent provided money so we could have some hors d'oeuvres there for people to eat.
Oh, so when I come on Sunday, April 3rd at 6 o'clock, there'll be some snacks, right?
There will be,
all right.
yes. Come ready to
Good.
eat.
Ready to eat. Good. Now, you have put together a website, right? Okay. And I think I've got that website down. It's 100, the letter, or the number. The number 100 women-newulm.org.
Correct.
Right? And so if people want to find out about this more, they can look on that website, right? Now, back to the logistics. You're scheduling this event, but you're not collecting the money.
No.
Right.
All the checks get written directly to the nonprofit.
Okay. And it's so you're absolutely certain that the $100 that you're donating goes to the selected organization, and the thank you comes promptly. I can tell you that. Now you've been on the organizing part, and I think you said in Sioux Falls you were also the giving part.
Receiving, yes.
Receiving
too.
part. Tell people who are listening what's the best reason for coming to this event?
It is, you get to meet women who are just like you and wanting to help a charity. And so often we think, my $100 isn't going to do anything. And you get to go there and know that there are 99 other people with you, and my $100 does mean a lot. It means a $10,000 difference.
Right. And back to you, Dana. Can you give our listeners some idea of what use Enterprise North is going to be putting this extra money to?
Yes, we've already established that we probably will be replacing some of the sensory materials that we have down at our Front Street site. Some of the locations, or some of our sites have, the stuff gets well used, and so it's often extra money that isn't in our budget that we use for things like that, and so that's...
Explain that a little bit more, the sensory items. Tell me more about that.
Well, for instance, at several of our locations, we have rooms we call, like for instance, the bubble room, and the clients can go in if they just need to take a break for a few minutes. They can go into the room, turn off the lights, turn on this bubble tube, and the bubbles are, it's just a sensory calming activity, or, other, just, with the lights off, it calms folks. And
well, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And again, you provide day services.
Yes.
For people with disabilities.
Correct.
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 And you have several sites here in you have 2 sites here in New Ulm?
Two sites in New Ulm, and basically 2 sites in Medelia as well, although they are connected, and so it's almost like one. But in Medelia we have a thrift store also, and we rely on donations for that. Just anything that anyone can, household goods, clothing, anything like that, and we sell, or anything we can't sell, then we use in other ways. So
talk about the employment opportunities that you're able to offer people who use your services.
Well, like I said, we some of them do in-house light assembly. Fastenal is one of the organizations that contracts with us, and they provide kits that our consumers assemble and or package. We do some light clerical work, and such as billings for local eye care companies, or or any place like that. We also do document shredding, and then we do cleaning services in the community for a couple of different places. So,
and you really provide meaningful work for people.
Yes, yes.
Right. And a community.
And a community, right.
Great.
Right.
That's great.
Yes.
I'm feeling better about this all the time. Right. Right. Is there anything that let's see, my who, what, why, who, others. Let's see. What else should we add?
Well, big thanks and big shout out to those who were helping me.
Yes.
This last one, it was Amy Pearson, Melanie Moore, and Ashley Aukus.
Good, we got it done.
We
Good
do.
job. Good job.
And I couldn't have done it alone, and having people who are willing to step up and take on some of that heavy work was amazing and really great.
Well, and I missed the first one. I won't miss the second one. But I really like your idea that you're getting together with a community of women who care about what goes on in New Ulm. And we're probably all supporting nonprofits in one way or another. And I'm looking forward to this event.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to say about Enterprise North?
I guess just as I mentioned, we accept donations of used clothing, used household goods, anything. If you're cleaning out, that happened a lot during the COVID pandemic. People really got ambitious and cleaned out, and so we're always looking for things like that.
And you can be reached in the phone book, right?
Yes,
You are in the
yes,
phone
we are
book.
in the phone
That's
book
right.
as well.
And you can be reached on your website, the number 100 Women Who Care, New Ulm Area .org, right?
Pretty close.
Pretty cool. You are right.
It's 100 women who newulm.org.
All right, there you go. 100 women
Dash New Ulm.
Got it. Got it. All right. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we will see everyone who's listening at Turner Hall Sunday, April 3rd, 6 o'clock.
Got it.
Women
Yes.
Who Care. Thank you. Thank you.